while. Never would with this particular council. We typically work with all the one for salaries at the end when we determine if we have the ability to give raises. So some of these numbers you can request, but we won't really give you a definite answer one way or the other to start. And so we just kind of start at the top and see what changes you've made. Notice this very beginning, elected official and the circuit court judge is 5,000, doesn't change, this won't change. And then clerical was like $2,200 raise in that line item. Deputy court, bailiff, about a $3,000 raise. Bailiffs, court reporter line, about an $8,000 raise. You know, I'm just trying to see if it's in here. Yeah, so we have to about that street here, so we'll have to get that set up.
How's your first year going?
I love it.
Good.
Absolutely love it.
So skipping those down into the regular numbers. You didn't change anything about the vendor, that got me a first in history. I'm not complaining.
Do you want me to say it here? I'm sorry.
It's
So
okay.
you can sit, you can sit.
I'll need to know the types.
Right.
I can give you some.
We want you to make us takers of good. But anyway, looks like you pretty much kept your budget the same.
Yes. Now, I want you to know I put in a 10% increase for the staff, only because I didn't know what to do.
That's kind of standard.
Can I get it?
Some people go five,
If it's okay, may I give me just a general comment?
you go right ahead.
Before I was judge, for the previous 10 years, I was an independent contractor. I understand the mechanic of being quarterly expenses. And I understand the description. So I'm not, you're asking for a new program. Everything, I'm just trying to make it exactly like last year. I put 3% in the morning. I just need to get like a coin in my staff. I think it's really good for people on the council who run businesses. I'm just saying, with every dollar you appropriate to my office, to me it's a gift and a privilege. And I'll try never to waste a single dollar. I did put 10% in with the first two basic staff levels, right? The immediate staff and the office staff that's there. I don't want to undersell my case. I didn't think you get 10% before. I just want to give them time. I would say two things. If you could, if you give raises or cost of living adjustments, I hope we bring our staff along. So I don't have low morale.
That almost goes without saying, we typically do that if we give a raise, we're not going to make people out.
And then the other thing, to me, it's a benefit to give me parity with quality and secure for extra money that if you decide to do that, bring it along, because that would be my request. That's it. I try not to bring it in this program. I love the job. Whatever, if you decide to get any raises, that's what I'm asking for. I'm so glad that there are people who kind of run budgets and run businesses. I will appreciate every single dollar of your programs.
Is there any reason the court reporter went down?
Yes, what I've done, first of all, when you group them together, it's the 10% raise. What I'm going to do is equalized by 3 staff members. So if you do the math, and that's according, of course, if you approve, but there's a disparity in salaries if you look back at the 2025 budget. I'm doing this a lot different. I had an administrator, Cindy Sterling, who's something giving me those city scrubs. We're doing lots of performance metrics. I'm doing something with the 40 reimbursement program, so I've been back and forth up to so I need more. And it was, I think, 3 staff generously funded in the past. I can't, in my mind, justify it. But I do not ask for any addition. The combined pool is just with my generic 10%. So I'm not asking for a dollar of new money.
They want them to be equalized in salaries.
Yes.
So whatever we conclude, they all need to be.
Yes, sir. If you, so I'm not asking for anything new.
So what
Jason, that's the reason.
we would do is we would take those salaries, add up what we did last year, put the rate on top of it, like
My grace, yes, sir. The 4 staff members had last year was $144,662. A lot of money. Of course, the 3 full-time staff, I would like to equalize. And I'm not asking for more money. That would be the reason for what appears to difference.
I think last year, didn't we make, the courts the same?
Yes.
Okay. Like a, maybe work with Rockwood. You may, if you record a quarter in one court versus the other court, or bailiff or whatever, no matter which court you work for, you get paid the same. And we adjusted those last year so they all met. So let's see what Bob says, and what Bob.
Just give you forewarning. Judge Pell, a good friend, he's not agree with what I mean, with his staff, he didn't have to do the same. I'm not asking for any new money. I'm just asking, from my management perspective, I'd like the 3 to be equalized. There, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yes or not?
They're not the same. They're not.
Yes, in 2025, there's a disparity in search court fees. The full report would be 45,000. Now that'd be 36,000, and that would be 41,000. So there's a gap. I'm just saying, if you'll approve, I don't want a dollar of new money.
Just even amount.
I'd like those 3 to be equal because they are so equal, not so three.
Sounds good.
But that doesn't leave one getting a decrease, does it? I hate to do that. Yeah.
That's 35 crazy.
Well, Larry, you're right on point, because if the lead forward order, if you remember Marley, Floyd, who like separated this employment with, I thought it was a disparity, she was making so much more than the others. And the others were making.
So when you hired the new one, did you pay her less? Or did you pay what more?
I moved her into Marley's position because I came in with, I can remember I wasn't very much.
Right.
But I would like parity, if that's the word.
I just don't want to take her off. Or, you know,
She would lose about $100 for the year. I don't think that's,
So I wouldn't think that.
I don't think somebody's gonna be upset.
And just so you all know,
They see about the records.
Yeah, but he's, I mean,
I know, you just don't say that.
in my business, I understand what you're doing, and sometimes you just gotta,
I just don't want you to have a problem. I just told you what you want.
What's the training you want online?
the clerical staff is a part-time, but 601, 607, and 401, 401. I would like those 3 to be equal. And like I say, I'm not asking for any new money. I'm just like, having implemented so you know that is different than what Superior Court made.
Yeah, we understand.
I don't know. The way I look at it is it's your office, you manage it the way that you see fit. That's the way you want to do it, that's the way we'll do it. If they throw me a fit, you might have to go back and just talk to us about it. But that's,
But
we'll
he's
leave
the
that
one
on
that has
you.
to listen to us.
Well, let me propose this, because court reporter is quite a bit higher than the others. What if we, and I hate to take a dollar away from anybody, I understand. But not give her or them a raise and equal that amongst the other two. I love it. And so we slowly, if we take 2 years of doing this, we'll get them all equal for it. That would make my life so much easier. Okay. I mean, I don't know that we can do it this year. I don't know the raises are, I don't know, I mean, 10% not, that's kind of big for us, but, you know, I have no idea what number we're thinking, but,
Keep it goal.
It's not gonna be, I can pretty much assure you it's not gonna be 10.
I understand. I just assume I can get left behind. Okay. Traditionally, a court reporter is like the lead staff member. So I think there's a justification for paying that person more. But I'm just telling you all, the reality is the three of them are in there together. And if you're willing to do what Jason suggested, that'll make my life easier. Because then the other two, I could, feed in this. And then next year we can talk about.
I'm just trying to prevent one from being, that you just hire, being that.
Well, the one I just hired is one with lesser salaries. And actually, it was just tremendous. She moved into Marla's position at Drive.
So you actually moved someone up.
Yes, I moved actually.
Okay.
I think not filled Marla's position. So she is the lead court reporter. But the other two, when we were in the office, they were just as important. But if yes, if you're willing to give actually a little bit more, but make the other two equal, I'd love that.
We'll do what we can.
I understand. Thanks so much. I know you have a difficult position, but be budget, and I'm not going to ask you for anything new. Like I say, I'll leave with this. If you could bring us, if you give raises, or also the justice, if you could bring us along, and if you could give equalization in the total numbers on staffing and security play, that would help my life.
And my question that I have as far as, you may not have these numbers, the filing of cases this year compared to last year, where are you at? Is it increase, maintain the same, drop? I mean, starts the workload.
It's an increase. The reason I hesitate there is, I'll tell them I'm just so close. I mean, we're friends, but they do make case studies that you're asking. I have to be very
Yes.
candid about it. Circuit Court has a 1.24 caseload. And Superior has a 0.98. So the way the state looks at it, our caseload is higher, or our, but I don't want more money than Superior. I'm just telling you that the way the state measures this, Circuit Court has more, slightly more than Superior. As far as the case goes. I'm sorry, that answered your question.
Yeah, I want to know what the difference was between the two courts, and then if circuit court's caseload has increased more so than it was last year, or Judge Stroud, if you had those numbers at all?
I definitely have those, I can find them later. But they're not much different. The thing about the circuit court is we have the children's cases, the child and youth services cases. Those cases never had, like, I mean, they go on for years sometimes with the parents. Whereas in contrast, Superior Court might have more filings, but those are misdemeanors where they get him in and out. If that makes any sense. In other words, with the new 10 cases filed, like, the last years and years. As it should. Protect the children, I guess. I shouldn't say I guess, protect the children. But I would say, like, specifically, I can't tell you our caseload has increased from last year very much.
Okay.
As far as the new findings.
One last question, or my last question, public defender, or normally, there's a drought, there's a tell, are always asking for more money there, and you left it the same, are you okay? I mean, are you gonna hit where you need to hit this year, is everything good?
It's the biggest challenge I've got. But I think I can swing it if you leave it safe for me. Not that they Judge Bellamy, do something different. If you do something different for him, I'd like to say for her, ask to bring them all. But I inherited my public defenders from Judge Stroud, they're okay. But we are being recorded. There should be a different perspective in this. Okay. And I think I can make it with what you did.
Okay.
That's
Jason, I spent hours and hours analyzing that. I have a pretty good idea how to fix it.
Is your chair coming?
It's
Chair.
your physical chair.
Your chair, your judge chair, yeah.
I wasn't going to sit in it because it was just so crazy. But in honor of Judge Neal, who sat in it, I'm trying. I'm different. I don't wear a robe. Judge Neal did not wear a robe. It changed after he left her. They did, but I try to be respectful to everyone. Jury trials don't wear a robe. And the chair been involved. So, but yes, I'm just
It's too nice.
well, it's have you seen it?
Well,
It's-
Yeah.
That reinforcement stuff, right?
I guess I haven't seen it, must be pretty nice.
Thank you very much.
If you need anything, many statistics I have, I can probably supply them very quickly. Thank you for your work, I mean, for your budget. And I believe, I appreciate every dollar you appropriate does. And I think I'm coming back at 4 o'clock, so I'm not thinking. Federal reimbursement, you coming down for,
Yes.
if you did quickly. Appreciate you all.
All right.
What a wonderful thing you hold around budgets.
We also have a public defender, that really changed, so. Work that out.
That's what my core law is. I'm doing a federal reimbursement program for public defenders, which could raise some small. If you, thank you.
Thank you.
I know you did a big day today. Anything else from me? My excuse?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't say, free to go. I also want to let you know, happy this was wonderful to do. So just want to share that.
Hello. Yeah, it'll be coming.
I do have something I'd like to point out, the Superior Court, try to make things equal. Court there, yeah, 26, 38,000. 6 courts, 44.
I don't think that's what we were trying to make even, I think it's a public.
Right, but if you look back at 25, there were, the bailiff was 41,226 in both courts. The deputy bailiff was 36,348 in both courts. And the court reporter was 45,088 in both courts. That's what we trued up last year. So it didn't matter which court you worked in, at that position, you got paid the same.
And all we used to be some discussion about. My report was hard. Their report, you're down there. That's the story.
That's the first time I've ever been through a judge's budget where they didn't have pass for years. Voting for farming, I've been really good. Interesting. I like that better.
Yeah.
It's
So nice.
So neat.
Now we have this segment. Yes. We're ready for you. You just want me to start, or you have anything?
Well, you know, the old speech on O1, we don't really
Yeah.
have to really in. So obviously we would address that at the end. Or we didn't hit with the raise. But
Really, other than salaries, I don't know that I had any increases. Just for education, for the kind of how my funds work. So with the criminal side, I have county general, which I think last year my total budget was like 308,565.
Yep.
And I actually told the December, 30,000 went back that I didn't spend. I'm not one of those offices that drains every line item. If I don't use it, it rolls back. So I pulled the December 31st and I still had $30,000 left in county general that rolled back over. So like I said, I'm not trying to come up with bills just to drain the budget since it rolls back. Pretrial diversion and deferral fee are my two other on criminal. That is not county taxpayer money at all. Deferral comes from people that get speeding tickets and defer the ticket. A percentage of that comes back to my office, also goes to the clerk's office, also goes to the state. Pretrial diversion is lower level criminal cases, possession of marijuana, minor consumption, driving while suspended, that they pay a fee to divert that prosecution where they go on probation for like 6 months to a year. They don't get in any trouble, in that case it's dismissed and there's no conviction. So those funds come solely from offenders.
I'm looking on this prosecutor pretrial. Okay. You don't have anything requested for the deputy prosecutor on that top?
I think we moved it over to a different,
What would that be?
maybe deferral.
Oh, in
Yeah. And then part of one of my prosecutor's salaries comes out of that as well, and then my receptionist is fully paid out of all of those funds. So that's the criminal side. I also have a forfeiture account. I rarely ever use it, and that comes from seizing money, vehicles from criminal enterprises. Sheriff's office also gets a portion of that. Some of it goes back to the common school fund. I don't ever hardly touch that. I think last time I checked, I got $40,000. And I used it actually to buy my investigator's car several years ago, but that's not something I ever touched. So then I also operate the child support division. So there's a couple funds with child support. There is the county general fund, but that gets reimbursed by 66% by the federal government. So we really, you'll see like 300-some-thousand. In that, we only pay the 33% of that because it comes back from the feds. There's also two incentive funds, one solely mine and one that we share with the court and the clerk, that the federal government gives us for collecting child support. So again, it's not county taxpayer money. Those come from the federal government. So we're really only paying 33% of the child support budget. And then on the criminal side, I've got the other funds that are not county money. So even though you might see that we have lots of different budgets with lots of different money, really there's only county general for criminal and then 33% of the county general for child support. And I don't think I really had any changes in here, just the salary stuff, which I know we don't really discuss. So
Okay, so let's go for the prosecutor county general. You didn't change anything with salary. So that one,
And then just for everyone's information too, like the elected official, I get a $5,000 stipend similar to the judges. The state of Indiana pays my entire salary and my chief deputies. So really the county's only responsible for my two deputies, and part of Indiana's gets paid out of the diversion funds.
that is, that's,
Yes. And this, of course, yeah. So I will say, he's been able to step in and actually lead on some investigative cases. There is a signed plea at this point, so I can talk about it, where they're about to, that attempted murder out in Lake Brazilian Estates. That individual just signed a plea for attempted murder for 30 years executed. My investigator got a full confession in that case. So he was able to step in, he was for short with their police force, one of their detectives was deployed overseas. He stepped in, got a full confession. So.
anybody has a question on, we'll determine salaries at the end.
Last year, we gave a pretty good increase in misdemeanor fee.
For child support, yes.
That's all.
That's, yes. You had originally, like, I thought I was gonna leave, given like more than I'm using. So I had Allison, that's just been, she started in the office with her was the prosecutor in child support. Then she came over to criminal, was my office manager for a long time. She moved over to child support, so I gave her an increase, but not what you all had approved. It's much lower than what you all had approved. And an increased pay who remained, and then my two other people are at what the criminal is. So we did not end up using nearly what was approved to retain the in jail, but we did give them some increases in incentive for pay to stay and for Allison to move over. And I really needed it. Yeah.
Three, two in a row, you can figure out the salary.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll look at it. Hey, all about that. All. Oh, I
I'll call in if he's out.
Yeah, he's out there. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Back on, back, go to, Chris Thomas's. What's the difference rate, 15 to 16 hours as opposed to 17, 15? It's
Probably a part-time person, they make 15, 16.
Yeah, parking. And sometimes, depending on what type of job it is, if it's a part-time person, it would be above.
but then the cost for part-time, 1750 as opposed to the clerical. Is that a full-time position of 15, 16 hours?
Well, and
Now, the 15, 60, I do 30-hour a week position.
28.
20 hours a week.
Part-time is 28 and kind of, yes.
I saw the difference, I'm like, why is it here?
there is a little bit of disparity occasionally on part-time salaries because of the type of position it is. You know, you can have part-time people that don't have had like an engineering or something, sometimes you do. Have to have someone that. And we won't calculate that because we determine it.
And I'm just curious as to if,
We'll figure that in also if we get the salary increase on what we get part-time. Most of the time we get the same percentage. We have to start different sometimes. It's just we didn't have to talk.
I think Thompson came in mid-year,
I'm good.
yes. Maybe trying to get employees.
Yeah.
to get-
Because they basically have a departure.
That happens to, well, I mean, we have to leave and then been here. We realize we're a little below.
Oh,
Or, you know, there's not too many people who go work today 15, 16 hours, that they've, you know, got a relationship with you.
definitely be interested. Hiring, yeah, part-time now, or costing full-time position,
Looks like it.
just a little bit more. And then obviously we have benefits on top of that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the biggie.
And what are those going to?
Probably.
Rough.
What do you think benefits cost per employee on average? Or full-time versus part-time is probably, what do you think, Marty? Over 10 grand, probably.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I would think it'd be more than 9,000.
You know, because you got, health insurance is the big one. FICA, the matching portion of FERS, then workers' comp insurance, you start adding all that stuff together.
That's why I didn't know how much more.
Well, we don't like that, I'll just tell you, we don't like that, full-time people, we don't have to, but we do occasionally. And there are legitimate reason, but that's not a big salary for one
No.
full-time.
Unless
No,
it's,
this is just, it's
unless
benefits on
it's just
top.
requesting another person on top of this.
We'll find out when we get to it.
But then, somebody, full-time or part-time, for the, based on that number right there, 23 by 40, it was 22 for this year. So full-time position,
I would say they're just gonna cut it part-time.
part-time, you know, full-time.
Man, that's not a big salary. Man,
That's
a
what-
fine person.
But then if you add benefits to that person.
Right.
that adds benefits.
Maybe that's one thing, instead they need to get up to stay or be a full-time. They're all, and honestly, you're trade off something, if they want to do that. Instead of hiring somebody at 40,000, hire them at 23 benefits, I can see that. But I don't,
You know, and it's,
hire them, my people, we don't have to.
it's a little bit less than what's reported. Is that full-time or is that part-time?
Can you read?
We'll find out.
You don't need to sit down, Bob. Exciting. Exciting, Bob.
I will. Okay, Bob, so your other judge, when you cut all this expenses, so you got your job there.
What's that?
I said, your,
Yeah, other judge.
you know, sort of work to cut his expenses. You got to work it out, man.
I got a problem.
Talk about how very good friends you are.
Yes. Did do that.
Yeah, it's my boss.
So, you know what we do though, on wait till the end.
Yeah.
We did notice you're requesting a new part-time, per part-time person we make full-time, I assume.
That's the idea.
And you just have one part-time person,
Yes,
That's your clerical person.
yes.
and so they were making basically 22 as part-time, and what you want to do is raise to 23, which would be basically the raise, plus they would be full-time, which means they get benefits. Is what your goal is there, as
Yeah.
trying to get this.
Yes.
Was it working more hours?
Will they be working more hours? Yes, they work 5 days a week instead of 4. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, our current part-time girl, going to full-time, she is bilingual. I think that's a plus to our court because we have all the misdemeanors, which are mostly Hispanic community.
Mostly driving offenses.
Yes.
Like frankly, driving without ever receiving a license, driving to insurance, and so forth. And
Yeah, we
now
like.
she's not a court approved interpreter, but she's thinking about going and trying to get that.
It's $75.
Handy.
Sure, you speak over
No, go ahead.
To become a court certified interpreter for the court system is $75 a class and a test. So she's going to do it, and we printed out the information for her. She could be utilized other places in the courthouse as far as we are concerned, as long as we're not having criminal court.
As long as it's not all of ours.
We have been hit with a lot of jury trials, a lot of grand juries. We utilize her for the front desk with the court reporter in court, the two bailiffs. We have to have one bailiff with the girls and one bailiff with the guys, one to the restroom outside the courtroom. We've had numerous jury trials and grand juries. We have one coming up in October, we have one coming up in November. We've been for,
Yeah.
she just does a lot of clerical things that we can't get to.
Bob, does that answer your question?
I think the reason the question was being asked is because she's making $22,000 now, and to go full-time, she's only getting $1,540 for an extra day a week.
She's a single mom with two kids. I think
She needs the benefits more than she needs the money.
I think she needs the money too. She's young. They're losing them right and left. They're being hired into other positions in the courthouse. By the time you spend 1 or 2 years training, they're going to another office.
What we're actually saying is, it's not getting paid that much more to go full-time.
Right.
She's not just taking a payment.
Is she paying for her own classes or is the county paying for it?
Well, we could do either or. We do have training money available that we're not utilizing, $400.
So I recommend you do that.
Well, I'm not sure that. Well, you have to pay for my training. I mean, I'm required to go to the.
Well, it's not for county purposes, I don't see why we should pay, it's not that much.
That's what it's about.
She's a single
Is this
mom,
correct?
bargaining for,
With the current employee.
Yes, she,
From 22 to 23.
yes. We like her full-time, and it does, the court will utilize her within working in a queue. There's more than just criminal cases that our court does. We
But
do,
but you're only asking for
Yeah.
$1,500.
to full-time. Whatever that
our whole point is, it's not that you're asking her to be full-time. She's just not getting paid that much more to be full-time. So our
Getting
whole
paid
Did you
less.
look at her rates?
Less per hour.
We didn't look at it.
Yes, yeah, less per hour, because she's gonna go from 28 hours a week to 36 hours a week, and she's gonna get benefits, but,
My understanding is it goes from $15 an hour to $18.
Well, we don't.
that's not reflected in the.
Well, I could have had it incorrectly, but the standard full-time basic pay is $18.31 an hour.
It's $20
So 20 now.
$20.
So she would go from $15 an hour to 20, and that would be my clerical. We need to fix that.
Yeah, we need to fix that.
I think, yeah, when it comes to that.
Because that, honestly, I mean,
You're right, there is a bigger.
I actually can see the need for that person. I mean, you do need bilingual people in this day and age to live there. And she is a single mom, she needs the benefits and so forth. I just don't want to underpay her, I guess.
That was my mistake.
So the current rate would be at $20.07, would be $36,668.
That's-
Substantial difference.
See, now what we get ourselves into. But honestly, it's just.
I'm sorry, $668.
You're trying to take care of it.
Thank you, Patty.
Yeah.
So, we like her. We are creating with her now as part-time, giving her schedule. She's been very flexible, moving from Friday often, Monday often.
Okay, I'll pontificate here for a second. I would rather reward people like that than people who sit on their stuff and get from the government. I mean, yeah, we're the government entity, but still working for us. I have no issue with this, to be honest with you.
And I think that being bilingual, what we're dealing with nowadays,
Yes.
is a positive, and she needs to be rewarded, you know, especially coming back after she gets that certification, and you guys can utilize her, and the other course can utilize her for throughout. I think that's worth something based on her previous education as opposed to just, you know, making full-time to be benefits. That's great.
By the way, when I have driving violations, I speak German.
And then the policeman says, just go.
There's no language line anymore.
So they would, you can't even speak that, it's
Why
like,
you nervous stuff? Like, is that when you nervous stuff?
yeah, that's not a German problem, that's Swedish, man. That's just because I like to buy the person of auto, is I had all the women manufacturers.
Sorry.
But they get stopped. I want my stock.
So jury, your experience with jury trials down,
Well, we passed some, and we're gonna have at least one more this year, and then another one.
We've already used that archiver. We have 3 more sets, 4.
I mean, we've got a million of them set, but just try to look at the months and say, ooh, we gotta move this guy.
These are actually gonna happen.
Yeah, these are gonna happen unless, I mean, like the last, we had a jury call, but he pled, and just rather than, I just let him do it, so I should do it probably. Should make, decide where we're on. But it saved all the people from having to come in and all of that stuff, so.
Okay, so here's one thing we got to do this.
Yeah.
So we did make, kind of go back a little bit here, we made her full-time, and then say it's 36 hours for OT. We can't go above this advertising budget. And so we're gonna have to cut somewhere else, and we will. But I just want y'all to keep that in mind for the new folks here, you cannot go above the total budget they asked for. So that is an exception that we don't normally make. We increase our over what you can ask. We gotta make sure we offset it somewhere else, but we will. The thing of it is about these budgets, and I'm only doing this for the next meeting, is that we can't predict how many jury trials we're gonna have. We can't predict all those things. And we have always said, if you have more, just have to come back and ask for
And you guys have been doing this.
so we'll have to adjust it accordingly, and then we'll figure out the salary breaking in. But I can tell you, one of them, we always talk about is public defender.
Yeah.
And you got a significant amount in there right now for rates. From 190 to 265, $75,000.
Well, it'd be like a whole new public defender.
Right.
So just saying, you know, if you throw out the traffic tickets, I've got 473 cases, the service got 99.
Misdemeanors. Misdemeanors. Misdemeanors are total cases.
No, total cases. I do all the misdemeanors, that was a foolish move on my part, that Judge Crowd talked me into. That's my fault. Okay, so, but most of them, well, they almost always resolve eventually, but somebody has to do it. And right now, they either do it or all. So I'm not up here whining about it, I'm just saying that's the reason for. Run, all right, here we are. Reba Sula's got 110 cases. Matthew Newman's got 87 cases, and Lee's got 65 cases, but that's because Lee's are easier to settle. You know, he's got a misdemeanor, so most of them go to trial.
Well, our issue too is, when there is conflicts in different cause numbers where there's 3 defendants, We don't have enough public defenders. We are paying $90 an hour for special PDs. Currently, we have 10 defendants with special PDs. That we can't assign them to another PD because of the conflicts within the case.
So here's what happens, a woman, gets an offense, and this is an example, this isn't what always happens, but it happened one time. In the new case, the old offense would get brought up against her. Normally you can't do that, but sometimes you can, burglary and some other serious offenses you can do it. So then the new PD, so if there's a PD, if the PD can't represent the defendant, if they represented a witness beforehand that is now going to testify against her, it's just a mess. And I look at those, you know, some lawyers always should try to just get out of cases, so usually if they don't state what the conflict is in the motion, then I make them come in and explain it to me. Exactly why is this conflict? So far, this bunch has all been good about not just leasing out your stuff because that's what they want to do.
So what you're saying is you need more money so you can have another totally unrelated person that they might have.
They're hard to find too, by the
Well,
way.
that's what I just make sure you have access to people.
But I know it's a big job, but it's just, that's what we have.
So how much do you need to actually get someone who can help you? Not, because I mean, I can see we could use it as a whole, right, $5,000.
Our standard for a whole PD is $55,000 to $60,000. We budget the other.
But wouldn't this person just be doing the exceptions?
So it would just be more in the special need PD fund then.
Yes.
But have we used up all our special PD fund?
No.
But we will.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's coming.
And that's on a different line item.
Yes, that's $15,000 separate. That's gonna be billed by the 3 special PDs we have before the end of the year. I just need to
So-
hire someone at $90 an hour when the other people are getting a set amount. So,
But I don't know how else to do it, unless you have a standing special PD, and just the go-to guy that you always went to.
So if we increase that public defender,
Special PD,
no, the regular one,
no,
enough to be able to maybe bump the ones we already have and keep them so you don't lose them. A little bit.
I think what she
I'm
was,
just saying it because they have inflation too.
I'm just saying what you're talking about is just having a set special
yes,
prosecutor.
having another PD just for conflict cases. Even if it's just half the caseload, even if it's just $30,000 a year. We only assign conflict cases to that.
That's why I say we'd add that to that other account.
Right.
So looking at this one, just, I mean, instead of keeping it static at the 190,000, make it, say, 205, so the one we, 3 we already have get a raise, and we don't want to lose them. That's just the thought that I have. It's
That would be
cut
just
that
like
down to 205 instead of 265.
And raise it on the other.
And then put it higher on the other one, but we're still not going to get to 265. We have another 15,000 or so into that other fund, just to take care of the conflicts.
I don't know if this is appropriate for me to say, but in looking at our budget and moving money around, there are several accounts that we don't normally use. Especially the amount that we travel and expenses for line item 32300. I don't remember using that.
well, I usually, they reimburse me for my hotel bill, but it's not, this year it's only gonna be 1.9 because they're making me go, and I told them I got to say why I can't go for long. So
And law books,
overnight, that's it.
we don't normally order law books, they usually are ordered upstairs, you might have to random one, that we can use moving around.
I'll go with whatever else.
So
So so your public defender, you need another maybe half-time
You could
special.
do with a half-time special.
And today, the standard rate is 55,000 or
Yes.
full?
Yeah,
or full.
55 to 60, yes, depending on the attorney.
Oh,
I kind of
okay.
work that out.
So, and you have 3 of them right now?
One person does 1.5 caseload, one does
And
one.
I don't pay Lee as much because really, he, well, my sense almost never go to jury trial, but, you know, where you earn your money is having to prepare for jury trial, especially the nasty ones we've had lately.
That's what we learned from the
Over and those things, you know, so.
That's how they made Matlock, jury trials. That's jury trials, Matlock, but never been famous.
We utilize our budget between 3 public defenders, but 1.5 might be paid less than the other because of the caseload allocation. So I can't say we give evenly 60,000, because we don't. We split it up per how many cases they're doing, how many they close, how many they take on. Split it out.
So we give them another $5,000 between the 3 of them, that's at $205,000.
Our budget is 90, so
Right.
if you go up to 205, it's,
That gives them another 5,000 each.
or I hire someone.
And then if we added, let's say we add another 25 in there.
Of the other one.
For the new, what you wanted on the, over on the,
One on the
Special
PD side.
price.
Yeah, we don't want it on this.
You can't put it in the special PD side because that is money that is earned from the prosecutor's office and is allotted differently
So
than
we-
our budget.
So we would,
okay, so put another 25 in there. That brings that up to 230.
Be fine. Make it happen.
I'm just negotiating. Well, we're not saying it's gonna happen. That comes to 230. You added basically 14,000 to your full-time, part-time cleric person. It's not reflected in here. We gotta find that money somewhere.
Like she said, you could cut law books.
okay, can I pause for a second?
Yeah.
I have another granddaughter.
Oh,
Printville, Maiden Way at 143. Day, Mommy and Daddy are happy to see you. And that's the giveaway for
But cut it your way, we can take back the 515 instead of.
All right, keep talking. So the pet, we're going to cut back to 5,000, from 10,000, oh, we're not stuck yet. We're going to cut the jury back to 15,000. And psychiatric services, I know that's just a shot in the dark.
We were talking about that.
It is, but lately I've been doing it just because, I think I made this speech before. There are a couple of people who we've seen so often in jail, I figured, well, the county's either gonna pay housing over there, or maybe after 10 disorderly conducts, maybe we get this person some help. So far it hasn't worked out. Well, they get off their meds and it's right back to it. But I can say I tried, you know.
We could take it to 8.
Okay, I mean, in 23, we used $7,200. 24, we didn't use any. And we used 21 already this year.
That's the.
I'm thinking about referring that woman that yelled at me the other day, whatever her name was. Liz.
Yeah.
Problem is,
She
she is terminal cancer.
I see her in that just so often.
She is one of
But if you turn her loose, she's living together.
She has a she's been
I know, and it's sad to
in
say,
jail that probably has.
I know, I know.
she's
She's just a menace. You got trespassing programs, so where's she supposed to get groceries? It's not my job to solve all her problems, but she's a menace. So sorry to say that, in public.
8,000 there. We're gonna cut the psychiatric services down to 8,000. Office supplies, are they really going up $500?
Well, we were at 2,500 and you took us down to 2,000.
Okay.
So we got close last year. So I asked 500 more, but we don't have to have
We
it.
could continue to.
And 2,200 there.
Her husband's in place.
Yeah.
And you said we can take the law books out for 3,000?
If we need one bad enough, we can.
What's my subscription to Lexus? That's really all I need.
$250 a year.
$250 a year for the whole thing?
I don't think there's
You
any
can
of
just
that.
pay the rest of it or something.
Something.
Law books down to 1,000.
We'll leave it 1,000.
Yeah.
I don't remember paying Lexus, I remember paying for that.
And then that'll make up for your full-time, part-time problem you got there.
Right.
And I'm not,
You're a kid.
well,
On my budget, I have a copy of the monthly budget, it shows we only have $5,000 psychiatric total appropriation.
yeah,
Okay.
we set that at 8 this year.
You had 10,
You
is
had
what you
10.
asked for.
Just made it
Training,
So you got,
you're gonna help for that young lady to get a good.
It's a state program, I think it'd be great if she could do it.
well, the house is the system is there. Get it paid. Like I said, I'm not gonna solve all the problems, but
Can't see anything else.
And we've seen it before, where they come in and ask for, you know, if you look, 2024, you spent 192,000. I'm sure we didn't budget that. 2023, 176,000, it just changes. And sometimes, you know, we're going dark.
I remember when that $190.
Yeah.
We had, that's one line item we probably increased that almost every year.
Yes. Oh, yes, since
So what year,
every
what
year.
year did that year?
Well, public defender, we went to 230,000.
230?
Yeah, to give you another half a person and give the others. It's your money, you deal with it.
We know,
We were.
Don't come back.
we know that crime increases and we have interstate expenses and stuff. But you know, Clay County is still a safe place to live. And so things are good in the right way.
well, the problems we have here, everyone else has the same ones. They just, maybe they know about it, maybe they
You know,
don't.
we don't have an access to one particular thing because we've got people that take care of it.
So you recoup the, or recap this. That jury went down to 15,000. Public defenders went down to 230,000. Psychiatric services went to down to 8,000. Office supplies went down to 2,200. And law books went down to 1,000. And salaries we deal with, and all our laws.
So you're changing the law books from 3,000
To
to
1,000.
1,000?
Yes.
Hills and lodging and change,
We didn't change any of
and
it.
mileage.
Travel and expenses.
We didn't touch it.
What little price lift where you have to
Doesn't.
Fort Wayne. We gotta go to Fort, that's the reason I gotta stay overnight. Last year it was in Indy, I could just come home at the end of the day. An hour and I was back there on the west side. Now it's Fort Wayne, it's 3.5 hours away. I'm told, I've never been there. So,
Yeah, it's about 4.
yeah, you think it's 4 hours? Yeah. So with all that, we cut that budget $31,222.
That included adding the 36,668.
No,
Okay.
and that is a net increase of 64,426 from last year.
I mean, what it is.
Yeah, and that's taking all the salaries across the same issue. That's probably.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
on the state there, guys.
We did.
You're done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
If you sign this,
I think, Patty, it was advertised that this was gonna be recorded, right? Everybody.
Good afternoon.
All public meetings are recorded and live streamed down to FYI.
Tradition, what I said.
That's why I didn't know.
I
The public meeting.
Okay.
I know a lot of
It's
people
the big
already.
first time I've said something.
I didn't look.
We probably need to just tell people when they come in. Yeah. There's no, no, you get you on the face, it's legal. Urban, you're being recorded, just so you know.
Okay, thank you.
You got official first.
Oh, guys. Special next thing.
You can go ahead and start. Did you sign in?
Oh, no, sorry. Basically the same budget I normally turn in, hadn't made any changes, office runs well with what I have. So.
See our favorite student of the day.
I don't know about that.
So will you spend the whole 2,500 on training and expenses?
It'll probably be somewhat close, I'm not sure if I'll spend the whole 2,500, if you need to pull a little, I'm sure you could.
Okay.
Yeah,
You didn't ask for an increase in salary.
Good guy.
Well, for those of you who are on there, we gave you a substantial raise because quite often we weren't paying right for years.
yeah, it's very
We
much.
found out that we weren't paying him correctly according to the statute. We fixed
So she did, thank you. Thank you, thank
it because of that. Showing his appreciation, we appreciate it.
That's one reason I asked about the training. Just, we took $500 off of her and you'd still be fine.
you. I think so, I think I should.
You got 624 so far this year.
Yeah, and the only other one would be the AIC conference in September and stuff. But beyond that, I think I'll be all right. I should be,
24, you went 1294,
yeah,
23, 16, so we went down to 2,000. You'd be fine.
yeah, should be okay. Or need to do nothing.
What was that, Jackie? The training and thing, just take it to 2,000. 2,000, all right. Everything else, like, spending it.
I try to keep it off, it's just right to the T as much as I can for you guys. Appreciate it.
Do you need $1,100 for the software? That's something new.
No, that's old, that's what I've used before for my drone footage and stuff like that.
You just haven't paid it so
No,
far
I
this year.
haven't yet this year.
So, and doing this just because there's so many new members this year, but one of the things that I learned in my 2022 second year being on the council, and you really kind of learned about when Fern first got elected. The surveyor's office does a whole lot of things that for years and years and years we didn't know they're supposed to be doing. And when he got elected, he came in and found out the things that he was supposed to be doing and started doing them. And because of the things not being done in the past, we had not paid them accordingly because we thought, you know what? And there were people literally running the office, and this is no criticism of people in the past, and it's just at the time of what they do, that didn't think they had to do a whole lot, so they didn't. And he came in and had a different attitude about it. He found out what he was supposed to be doing, and he did it, and he found out, wow, I didn't know that, and it's a lot more than what we thought. So that's kind of where we're at today. Used to be the lowest paid by far, probably before us. And he's earned his way.
Thank you. Thank you.
I got a few questions for we can't go over his advertised budget. We crank everybody, including officials, 4 or 5% raise. We're going to blow his budget.
You didn't ask for it. And so, really not a whole lot we can do. Keep that in mind for the future.
Absolutely. No, I knew that.
All right, well, I did.
And I think he already kind of suggested that's probably what's going to happen.
You guys,
He was true to his word.
yes, you took care of the election with things, and I appreciate that. So we need to know.
So the very top line is surveyor compensation, is that the $2,300? That's the cornerstone?
Yeah, and drainage.
Drainage.
Yeah, drainage match. Yes, sir.
Based on $11 for this and,
Yeah, okay. $2 per mile of drainage and then $2 per cornerstone in the county.
okay. That was something to do.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
That's, look ahead.
So supplies, you just haven't turned in anything,
Yes,
sorry.
yes. There's various things that come up. Sometimes it's the nails and washers and the guys mark the stones really finding the roads, or, we replace different elements that they need to replace. Like we'll do.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate you all.
Thank you. So this is being reported to last year, we had to pay in additional like $1,000.
Because we had really screwed it up. But
We thought we needed to pay 60% of the officer's salary to,
So I don't like to put it in these stories for different.
no, it don't pay.
it's paid. Yeah,
We don't get it.
he's almost there.
That's what I'm asking, is he still doing?
We did.
Because there's no time on it.
No, I don't know if you get
Yes, he did.
Well, that's the 78.
11 kids.
So if those are paid, you get from.
Yesterday.
Sleep on the yard.
I think if you throw the education, you get to start yard.
That's why I'm gonna ask.
We have a class, so.
That's fun. That's fun. They're all close around here next to
Yes. Yeah, right. Our oldest grandson, what is trying to help.
I know.
So, it's like. So. That's very nice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this weekend was perfect weather. Wow.
I asked him, he's gonna wait.
I know, yeah. I was wondering if someone is it raining or like 100 degrees.
There was no in between, was there? I mean.
I love, yeah, I like this. Then was dropping into like 60s, not like no, I don't like person.
Yeah, no, yes.
Ready, ladies? Yes.
Doing great.
Good.
So we don't do salary stuff until the end, and a lot of stuff is your contracts anyway.
Yes.
So, again, for the new members, you don't know, like, we have a contract with Purdue, they determine what their salaries are. This all kind of out of control.
Yes.
They'd like to be paid a lot more. It's not that, maybe Purdue for that.
But they were the other salaries that increased with
training and expenses.
Yes. And that one is the salary increase for our office staff, which you guys do.
Right, that was the,
But yes, the $500, the only other increase was the $500 to training and expenses, because now we have taken on more duties and are being asked to attend more conferences. That would allow us greatly to do that further.
And that's within our county that you're asking for? You're being utilized more in our county, is what I'm asking.
Well, so like, for example, I have a conference coming up, like our national 4-H conference is always in October. It's in Georgia, but you learn professional organization and you bring stuff.
You bring back to the
So,
county.
Knowledge.
Yes. Yep, yeah, so. Which I did implement some things from last year.
I was running at least one program back from my conferences every year too.
And it helps our young people.
Yes.
And we'll have to have the changes.
Since they were pretty low key on our part.
How did our pie thing go?
It went well. We raised 40,000, I think. So we're going to keep the free 4-H, which we did have an additional 56 members this year compared to last year. So I think the pie option did help, which was really exciting. But we're going to think about putting some of that money towards the cost of 4-H camp. So 4-H camp is $120 this year. Hopefully we'll keep it around that next year. But we had 64 campers and 11 counselors. We had 75 kids from Clay County. So if we take that cost away from them, that would be great. Did we get one?
We had a big turnout compared to our other neighboring counties.
Yes. Blew everybody out of the water. We're cheating about everything. So
And that's just for little ones or?
that's our 6th through, or 3rd through 6th graders. And then the counselors are 8th through 12th grade. So, yeah, so we camped with Sullivan, Vigo, Owen, and Davies there.
One other thing I do want to make you guys aware of, since we were talking about contractual services with the Purdue contract, our AR educator, Jim Luzar, retired this month, so just want to make sure you guys are aware of that. That is not initially in our hands to begin looking for another person. Purdue has to start that, and then once Purdue gives us the green light, we will go ahead and with the help of our area directors, start interviewing.
Little did you have some ag programs, so I know in Clay City, you're working to schedule a ag outlook, hosted event there in Clay City. And, we're having our garden expo show this year. Jim started that last year. And we had great turnout from the vendors, had great feedback, so they were like, when's that happen again? So that's scheduled for March 29th, whatever that Saturday is. So,
And then we have a system. In the meantime, when we have an A&R vacancy, that we will refer calls and questions to other educators.
question more about trees.
We don't have that expertise, but we know people.
That's all you have to do.
Different, those people.
I'm married to the 4-H board members. I think ask her. I agree with this.
Race camp,
Did you? Was it, we're still there?
I was really good, the problem wasn't that Shepard back, but the other 4-Hers, was about 5 or 6 of us.
Oh, no.
The thing about it was, I got home after I got Jason in the basement. But we got that in the last day, and it's not the outright.
It's a lot of fun.
It's fun.
That's what I like about it, is we're with the other counties, you know, we don't always get the opportunity to do that. But we haven't had good boys and stuff in there, but. We have had some, like, you know, there was a kid who, I was just going into my cabin to shut the door, and then we heard like a scream, and I was like, oh my gosh, we went in there, there was a kid who grew up in that head in the bed, and she shook my butt from, she was laughing so hard, and I was like, I can see it.
That's good though.
But, so I don't complain, it was like more like, yeah, I was like,
We appreciate everything you guys do for us.
You know, I will say this though, it's kind of on the negative side. So the lady who used to come in here always made us pies.
She set a bad precedent.
Actually,
Now they're selling.
that's the bio. we Christie made it by, Melanie Brown.
Melanie.
Yeah, I've heard that story.
Oh, yeah, she and I, my favorite butterscotch, and she made me a little, she could make,
Oh, we can make
she wasn't
those,
just a
okay.
5 maker, she was a 5 maker.
Mines are very expensive at the auction.
They are.
Very expensive at the auction. They were good.
I'm still blown away by that, so. It is amazing to see the supporting community of you guys and our commissioners, we all,
Very much appreciate it.
they've been rude.
So, program assistant and the office manager are budgeted the same rate this year.
Yes, and it's because our program assistant's been there for, I think she's going on 8 years. And our office manager's just 8 years, so I think it's incurred up to about the same amount.
I'm bumping both the same, okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
both of them made the same time.
Yeah. I think if they were both starting at the same level, I think the office manager's a little higher, but
So when we get done budgeting, do you want them to be the same?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
that would, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were about the,
Because we give raises, we say we're gonna give a 2% raise,
Right.
it's gonna be 2% of what they had.
The previous.
Yeah.
So we gotta calculate the
Yes.
which I think last year was the first year it hit even, because,
They were even in
It wasn't even.
2023. 2023, they were even. In 2024, the assistant was more. I'm talking about actuals now. And in 2025, the office manager is budgeted more. So they flip-flopped. In
Yes.
2024 to 2025, and now you're next year, 2026, we said.
Yes, please.
So we got a chunk of money, one's gonna get a little more than the other because of money given. Okay.
Yes, please. They do people last work, like to have it distributed.
I think that's it.
Sorry, just from my understanding, I looked at a copy of release, it's still 2,000. We've already been over that this year. I mean, within the same line, I think we just transferring. Okay, gotcha.
And we had extra demand for copies this year because of the Food RX program I teach. It's a 12-week course, so it has quite a bit of movement, and I will upload that on someone else next year.
Very good.
We're happy, you guys are happy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Oh, and I wanted to extend an invitation very quickly. We are having a visit from the Purdue University president, and this is for commissioners too. He is going to come visit us to the 18th, September 18th at 10:30. He will be at the Clay County office. And he would like to meet our local elected officials as well. So if anyone is free on September 18th around 10:30 a.m. It's going to be a very quick visit, literally 30 minutes. But he wants to know what's going on in our county because he's high up investment via most of the time. So that
The date on that?
September 18th, 10:30 a.m. And I can also send an email too if you guys would like to follow up on that.
if we're gonna play through the counties, he's been made to go in and Salt
Yes.
So,
Yeah, so just wanted to share that with y'all. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
We may need a quick break if I do.
Yeah.
My wife and my daughter and my granddaughter, and big sister of this one, all the flower nuts. So Rosalie Violet, not shocking to me. They had no idea what they were.
That's cute. I like
This was shocking.
it. Rosie. I think that makes sense.
What's going on?
Really?
Yeah, right.
Do you want one? Are you getting?
You have to wait till the rest of you. My granddaughter's name's Lily, so I have a flower too.
Yeah. What's your granddaughter that's the gymnast?
Layla.
That girl's beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh my God, she's gonna have to beat boys off with a stick. She's
Freshman
talented.
this year.
Yes. How old is she?
14.
Wow. She's growing up too fast.
Sir?
Lily's a teacher. Third grade.
There you go.
Yeah, she's a sport in Illinois. Teaching child. Like fourth. She's a fifth grade teacher. Good job, it's crazy. Oh, I'm retired. So thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, we got it. He asked you a few questions about an increase or something like that, so. Yeah.
Did they get that tree cleaned up?
No, I haven't touched it. I'm not worried about it. I figured they were letting it die first.
Yeah. There's a lot of street.
Brownie's good.
This box chocolate is good.
Is that the house or does it help?
Oh, yeah. Oh, make sure you get everything down to five.
You understand this part.
If it's too early for FFA, for soil sample testing, learning soil samples.
Yep.
So it's one thing for us to learn, know how to do it, can make their own pine grass, 4-H.
Good deal. Become an all-star, first team.
That's kind of neat, they did that bio-oxygen and they ranked free.
The two, they had it for 2 years, now that isn't, have you ever read it?
No,
Oh, the price is high, $800, $900 a lot. It's crazy. It's fun to watch. It really is fun to watch.
So, they probably have to be after harvest, maybe this winter. Oh, the media is just crazy about that stuff.
for a standard or something.
Yeah, but they are.
Yeah. Oh, Tom, we were coming in here, there's some ground that was there, they spent one of some of $50,000.
That's the way this is, where they do it. But, you know,
That's the
help each other and-
Yeah, there's.
I just want to say. Oh, yeah, I think it's a great.
Everybody on the street, I'm proud of myself for not getting some for myself, and there's brownie in there.
That's a shot, it's insulated better than it was. But, so with that concrete slab, it stays decent in there. And a little more plastic or another 80, but keep it using the fire in there. And, so much actually the work inside.
Passed away and paid for all of it. No kids paid to go to Indonesia refuge. So what I would imagine, I don't know who it is, it's a non-part-time school. They turn, no kids will pay to get into Indonesia. I think that's such a nice thing.
So,
I don't know if they understand.
Yeah, second meeting, so.
Yeah.
give the celebration.
That's what I wondered.
So this is the first time it's happened.
They have children.
So they have imaging.
Right, I know, do that. I just wonder if it was like.
Jeffrey.
That would sound like James.
Yeah.
Have you seen Belle?
Oh, wow.
I've seen pictures of it.
Now that, she's constantly, looking at this, and tell her.
Totally.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Good deal. Sounds fun. Oh.
Meetings already? She's good. We charge it for it. You're all sweet.
My favorite. I saw a movie. Maybe like, we can come up and see her.
They put the septic in until they were, yeah, just maybe. So we did the septic.
I tell you, it was better. It was so far. Just okay, so we all back, all ready to go. We are here for a rookie. Gotta be, you get that about a rookie as you can get. How long you been on the job?
32 days.
Tell everyone who you are, because the people here probably don't even know.
My name's E. Blake Leon, I'm playground assessor. New playground assessor. So,
I met him at a meeting, like, he told me, he's the one that told me that he was going to be running the caucus, because I didn't know our assessor right before the resign. So I was so far out of the loop, I didn't well, I'll give you a little bit about how we operate. So we don't do salaries until the very last thing, because we don't know how much we have left in the budget. Be able to get raises and whatever. So, just be aware if we give a raise, what we do is we call everyone in. We tell them what it's going to be, kind of on the last day. No vacation, so no lights, no nothing. So, anyway, we'll start at, maybe we start at the top and we'll just ask you about life in the budget. And kind of, we know probably what the answer is because we've heard more times than you have. So, most of us have been on here for a while. Anyway, is there anything you want to say before we start?
forgive my ignorance and some of the custom attorneys that would probably use eventually.
Hey, you're fine. You're fine. Everything in here is recorded, because of FYI, so, it's something new this year, so we're trying to tell everybody. Not that we try to hide anything in there, but just want to make sure. Don't sneeze into the camera. Blow your nose into it. Probably not the word. So, all right. So elected official, and again, that's an 01, so all those salaries be determined, and will determine whether or not you get a raise or not. So is there anything else in your budget that you actually changed? Because I don't see it. Not at least not on that.
Association things.
What? $55, so I'm not too worried about that. That's pretty much set. That's pretty much set. By what the are. So that's your official county general, so all the money that's spent here comes out of county general. And then the next, so anybody have any questions on county general? Probably nothing in there that it is what it is. I know we leave a line item for assessment tech, we don't really have one, because we hire that out of contract.
I do have a question back on that 31 area. The budget says 126 for 1,000.
Which one are you at?
The next county enclosure.
Don't count on it that far yet.
We split that, 1 year the sheriff pays for it, 1 year the auditor pays for it, 1 year the assessor pays for it.
Okay, so this year.
And this year's the assessors.
Okay,
So that's
thank you.
in 27, we thought auditor gave a good share.
Yeah, those are gonna be a little confusing if you don't know, because that's all the things, if you don't know, you don't know. Yeah, that's right.
And see, they
Nobody
pay,
here to tell you.
they pay for it 23.
Yeah,
Yeah. But pass it around.
Okay, it says a reassessment, which this is the bigger one that you have, and this is its own separate fund. In salary, yeah, later.
How does the reassessment contract work?
it's my understanding of the reassessment contract is that we couldn't get them to give a definitive answer. Their budgeting comes later than ours. So they gave us the ballpark on it. They're not gonna go over the additional charge on it. They're gonna try to stay low, but they couldn't give us the exact.
And just kind of an FYI, I mentioned it earlier today, we only reassess physically certain counties that we rotated every year, so we don't do them all. The whole county doesn't review. That's so if you have someone in two different townships saying, hey, I got really jacked up this year, my neighbor did, what do I do in a different township? So, that can happen. Office. Yeah, all right. Well, that's good, 2,300, it's not too bad. Townships, varies from year to year. Reduce it. So sometimes we'll reduce the budget, but that doesn't mean you can't. What it means is if you start running out of the fund, you come back to us and ask for an additional. To say, you reduced this fund, so we're looking at office supply line. But this year, 2025, we've only spent $173. Now, that doesn't mean we won't spend the budget by the end of the year. It just means to now, we spent $373. We try to find every area we can, just cut a little bit, so 1,000. And then, like I said, if you come back at the end of the year, you're going, I need this, and I'll have you money to pay for it, all the rest of it. You'll figure all that stuff.
Just run it like your home. Did your copier go down? Your copier lease?
It stayed the same, I don't know why she did the 1800, because the 1800 is what it's gonna be. But it stayed the same, it dropped like maybe a couple dollars, but she was able to get in before the,
So should we change it back up to the 1800?
yeah, but, yeah.
So the contractual service,
The previous 2 years was 1536 on the copy. Copier lease.
Yeah.
You just copy, yes, every copy, yes. Okay.
so 1540s, right?
No, it needs to change to 1800.
Recession contract, they told you it was gonna be, it could be 208,000.
Yes, hopefully over, but
Okay. Previous years have been 173,000, 160,000. Guess you're on track this year for 580,000.
And that contractual service, what's that?
Not gonna have this for you.
Yeah, I probably asked.
that's Tyler.
Okay, and so you're actually asking for an increase there?
Yes.
Apparently they have increased it, yeah.
Software maintenance, it is what it is. Those training expenses didn't ask or didn't use a lot this year, but I assume a new person's gonna use theirs this year.
Yes, training expenses is probably the only one I have to come back and talk about later. We have three new hires. One of them's already started, it is Lowe's. The other two will be starting theirs by December. So, but I do expect that to definitely change, to get everyone to level 2 by June next year.
And you're level 3.
Not yet, still working on the classes.
And that's, but once you hit that, that's at the end of it, right?
That's it, yes.
So you can run in the next budget.
Yes.
Actually,
He's eligible to run it, you gotta get level
yeah, if you don't have a level 3 available, you're not allowed to have someone.
He's got, I think, a year to get this done, right?
Technically, by the verbiage that I got back from Barry, with DLGF, I have until January 1st, 2026. And then after that, they can have the waiver for the year, because technically my first term of office would not be until then. My elected term of office. I definitely intend to have it done before then. It's valuable to us to have it. I know I like the bunch of study.
Military guy. How many years did you spend in the military?
29. 29 years, 2 months, 15 days.
He'll be disciplined to get it. That's it, we started at 3. Welcome. Always know that you can come to us if you've got an issue. Be clear to the courthouse, figure out
Oh, good.
to have you go out, decide to take on the job.
I will.
So far, so good.
Community service.
There you go. You don't have to stop and salute anybody at all.
That's very true. Not that I ever salute you.
Oh, now, I bet you that's not exactly 100%.
90% sure.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank y'all very much.
Most people don't
Put that in there.
Well, okay, why is the budget, because there was money, reassessment money in here. Okay. in back of pocket. It's county general fault. And it's assessed the budget. And so at one time, some had income reassessment. I was spaced off, and we were short other places. So we moved some of that over here. Okay, and let them pay their own.
Well, I thought it was often is in health insurance.
But it's not just his health insurance, it's just a chunk that we moved. So when we hit the commissioners, there's a great big huge, there's $1 million chunk of health insurance.
It's big number.
For everybody. But at one point in time, there was a bunch of money left in reassessment. And so we used that money
I think the first year I was the county councilman, if I recall, our health insurance expenditure that big year was $185,000.
Good old days.
That was the good old days.
That answers your question.
Now it's that.
Yeah, because I didn't know,
Yeah,
it's in by the standard.
because there was, at one point in time, I thought that, well, the big chunk in county general later, they got out, but there was money left over there when we were tight somewhere else. We're tight in county general, which is normally the case. And so we,
There used to be a day, and I don't think that's why you predecessor. We used to almost use reassessment as a solution. Because reassessment, always have a levy way more than we needed, but it was mandated, you know what I mean? And so we were trying everything we could to take things out of the assessment and pay, but they changed that by 10 years ago.
so if you go back to this, Susan gave us, there's a line here, levy for reassessment. And you get back to this, they actually have a. We're in this reassessment. We're in this year, reassessment. And next year, $198,000 below. Yeah, but we still have a positive balance, an operating balance in there of 16%. We still got plenty of reassessment funds year to year. And we're just
Just depending on what townships are assessing that year, how much they take.
There's some things you can't spend the money out of those funds, they just grow and grow, and you can't put them in rainy days, like that.
We try to be as creative as possible, so we try to get stuff off very narrow into the. There's only certain
You can't touch it.
We can't put
We
a
tried
try.
over here, so we
Can't touch it.
can't do that. And it was totally related, but
From home.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tie it up.
unless the state says you can. If it happens to us, guess what, that will happen elsewhere. Eventually, the state, eventually get there. That's what happens to us. Why they changed it, because that becomes social security. Now, the good thing about reassessment is a little more flexible what you do with it. They say it for you, but it still wasn't, you could use it for anything, you had to use it again, that's. But we would just cover the assessment salary out of this.
Big white house.
Yeah. Place of being in Solomon.
We go to our sheets, $500 million. And every year they keep going up and up and up. Roads,
26, so they're running out of 41 or? You can make it city and everyone that
Stimulated people's
I see, that's what.
Yeah, they're gonna have to, because they're, like that part of our and they like that out of there.
I've seen it,
Can't afford it.
Can't do nothing. That's it.
Okay. County jail. Look forward to this every year. So obviously, it's like all week, we wait to the end to determine salaries. But you can make whatever arguments you have, for whatever you're asking for. So it's probably simple.
So you want to do the jail first?
That's what we have listed.
Let's start with the major. You got adding one position, is that what you're going to
Adding one?
do? It says one position.
No,
It is one.
it just says
Oh,
one position.
oh,
that's
sorry.
how it is there. So it just increase.
Oh.
So, somebody didn't pass that. Jail officers.
Jail officer.
You just got to understand, so you're where you need to be.
So it's more than what it was in last year's budget because we did additional
Right.
earlier this year.
Right.
So it's the same amount as what the additional is that we did earlier this year.
Right. I thought 37 was kind of magic number. And that's okay, well, right there. You got them all filled.
I believe so.
Or,
Yeah.
yeah,
So we've had 3 or 4 people who hired by immigration, so we're just waiting on them to get their start date. Pretty good slap on, right? Nothing we can
sign off, good. Nice. Nice, serious.
Yeah.
I see that.
No, you put good.
No, I'm good.
You can talk to her all the time, I'm sure.
That's an age-old problem. Used to be state police, city police. It don't matter what it is, right? You get a training, qualified or not.
I will tell you that rumor is the state, you see something going 20 out
Margaret.
So I am requesting 2150 for this year, which is just shy of $1 raise.
Bill supervisor, shift supervisor didn't change. Tell us when something did change. The high shift supervisor. Do you have anything that you change on personnel or numbers?
No.
Just the raises, that's it. All right, so let's go to
Obviously, the part-time night striker is increased from what was approved last year. We were already asked for an additional last year. Gonna have to ask for another additional, we're already at 15%. Same with overtime pay, we increased that, however, we already requested more this year. Received that as an additional, we have 29%. And
Part-time jailer went down.
41,000 and the 40,000.
So the 41,000 would have been probably money that was encumbered from the following year or from the previous year that shows on the 25 budget.
Plus, by adding additional personnel, we might not have needed. Plus, it probably wasn't kind of extra.
Garage motors increased 5,000 or 11% over the year. It's pretty self-explanatory. Meals increased from what was approved last year. That's around 20%. Medical. That stinks. Yeah, we're down to 22% medical for the rest of the year.
Oh, wait a minute, you're asking for $1 million more medical.
Yeah. Very good too. So the contract amount that the commissioners have signed is 1,000,000.
Oh, that's true.
49,391. That's only at $250,000 additional for uncovered expenses, which quite frankly is probably short.
It actually makes me feel better knowing that we're paid. So it's already coming in there.
So curiosity, so if you have an inmate who's incarcerated, they have insurance in the right, you still cover that, or they cover that?
We have our own insurance, we build the insurance in. However, sometimes they won't pay for that expense if they're incarcerated, just depending on what the insurance coverage is, the coverage is. If they don't pay for it, then we have to send the bill, but we bill it. They have insurance, we bill it, and so they send and take care of whatever we need to.
Okay, thank you.
Most of the time we pay.
Right, you say we're down to 20%, that's as of like today.
That was the latest report I received from the auditor about 2 hours.
Okay. They gave us taxes as of June 30th, so there's changes pending.
Everything that you show on your budget, but you have to present it for 26. We had an increase of $1,720,000.
From the approved of last year.
What you have listed, yes, what?
So with the additionals already for 2025, on that is 123,930. So that makes a difference of 926,000. This is over the entire, all of my budgets combined. That makes the difference 926,000. But mine, we've got to probably do additionals for meals, garage motors in the jail, medical, and ice drivers. So really, truly, even with raises factored in, we're not too far off from what we were last year.
The vehicle line, is that for new cars or is that?
So that will be required for us. So that is part of the reason why our garage motors is so completed. The 2 buses we have, so commissioners was worried about them. They are our diesel mechanics basically said we probably need to put money into it. So far this year we spent more money into those, going it back to the shop.
So,
They're sitting here waiting, basically, to figure out what we're gonna do.
last year we were guessing because we didn't know how quickly the ramp up was going on ice. So these numbers that come in this year, I mean, it's good that they're out more than last year, but also has a little increase that we had it through the year.
Correct, as a currently.
So through the year,
I say we're here, we
So you got enough? 850,000 will do enough for meals?
So I'm hopeful, because we're gonna run short this year. And now, obviously, with this, we're just projecting, we're probably gonna be about that much short from what we have approved this year, so that's about what the additional will look like.
Ready to move on to?
Yeah. General Sheriff, right?
Yes.
Okay. So just a quick note, the chief deputy line item is in both the 1170 and the 1,000, so depending on which fund that needs to be taken from, obviously it could be from the other.
Yeah. You moved this up, sorry, about the
So the chief deputy line item that is in the 1,000 is also in the 1170. So obviously depending on which account you decide that needs to come from this year, then it can be deleted from the office.
Basically, everything in the sheriff county general is salary related or matrix related. What's the,
Pension also comes out.
that's what I was gonna ask, what's the sheriff pension additional?
So the sheriff pension,
Well, there's the sheriff pension and then there's the additional.
county, okay, so there's a 457 county match that I'm proposing. There's a benefit for our employees, basically to help employees start saving in the optional 457B plan. So I'm asking basically the county to establish a match of $50 to pay. And this figure here would list all of my parent staff. So that way it would be an additional benefit of their pension that would go into their 457B. Several counties throughout the state have started doing so. And after consulting with our pension representative, suggested this would be a great option for the deputies and our staff, basically, to have this as an additional benefit for their pension.
So, about $1,300 a year.
Thanks.
Is that for all? All deputies.
That's not for jail staff. So, you think you get a good participation in that? A lot of 457s don't have a match, but they also have 430s. They don't have
I think it would be a great incentive to incentivize them to start with 457 and enjoy benefits.
How's it work now? How's the pension work now?
So the pension is county funded as well as officer contributed. And then basically the pension the officer receives the average of their highest 5 years. But then we also have the option to do the 457B, which is a self contribution. That's where I'm hoping.
There's no match on that,
There's
yeah.
no match.
So it's whatever contribute. So, thank you.
Keep it up, keep the
It needs to go in county general. Our public safety law is, minus 2.8%, what it's being funded this year. We've got, I assume that's what base reason that we have to get that to go to zero, we gotta take 46,000 out of it. To have positive, to have zero change in balance, we have to have $411,000.
Just to leave the chief deputy the way it's presented as 73,820.
Yeah, that.
Again, move it in, and barely take it out. Oh, it's
You scratch it off your paper.
and still have all the deputies coming out. Thank you. Sergeant, they're all in, public safety. Lieutenant. Mayor Moore's still there, Shipper, Shipper's still there. Okay, we just.
We take $200,000 from public safety, and put it back in the county general for vehicles.
For the bus.
Well, no, the bus is on the jail. I'm talking about the sheriff's county general and the sheriff's public safety law.
Oh, yeah.
Public safety law is way underfunded.
Yes.
So, yeah, they never put it over the other without, it'll be over budget, right? So we'll advertise. Well, we can take at least $73,820 then, or at least $70,000. Because then it would be, we took that chief deputies out. Say, so let's just take 7,000, which is what we can, then if we adjust, if we get the salaries calculated or a little more, then we can add that to it. Also, against public safety rule, makes sense. So if we take it, so we would leave 130 currently, public safety lower for vehicles.
Okay.
Put 70 in county general, so that kind of adjusts for that.
Would you put the salary instead?
Yeah, but, so we're taking one out of one, putting it in the other, so it's offsetting. We're taking the vehicle, we put the salaries, we left the salary already in there for both of them. We took the salary out of county general.
We left it, we put the salary, we left it.
We left it, and it was already in there.
Yeah.
So now we take $70,000 out from public safety, I put it back into county general. So this budget's not exceeding the amount. You actually go to 73, whatever. Technically.
Cutting back.
Because you're cutting back and then you get salary, you're probably not gonna get back to what they asked for. Right? That makes sense. You get what I'm saying?
You're thinking of it backwards. I think you're thinking of it back, because your problem, your share
We decreased public safety by 73,820.
but we need.
Yeah, I know, but he wants to decrease it more. Right.
Public safety, I do, but I can't exceed county generals.
You won't, because he had it in both budgets. We took it out.
We took 73 out of the public safety law.
We took 73 out. It was already in county general. He put it in both places.
We left it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was in, okay, that's right, we can't do that.
Right, so I can't take the $200,000 out of vehicles and move it over.
Yeah, that's right. So we gotta figure out what the salary differences are gonna be.
Which, as far as the salary goes, I mean, we didn't ask for the move, so the state
Right.
probably not gonna get what we asked for.
Then I'll learn
What's that?
that about the whole range.
We haven't even looked at the pricing, so we're just saying that.
Roughly 6%.
But we're in a year that the state gives 0. So I'm not saying we're gonna do that, but the same. Not probably gonna be 6%.
On the public safety book, they're increasing the personnel there.
Maybe looking to come out of this one this year.
Have to find some place.
I just, you know,
Well, at least if we balance, if we just took out that 73, whatever.
I looked into the, like,
On the old roof, that's a middle replacement swap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's maintained.
It's that.
Right. Yeah, there's still grants out there, but these are grants in a little time, that is not way down. I mean, it's been, since
I say the last round of gas we bought, we did not get any reimbursement money back. Certainly we can apply for the bulletproof vest grant again, which needs to have, yes, but since we didn't get back last time, I'm not going to this.
basically, if that's still there.
Anything else? Didn't really change much. Okay. That's rare.
Based on the letter that we received last month's meeting, as far as contracts, and we're talking salary, it's not, when is that process as far as contract?
What do you mean as far as contract?
If you decide to do a contract, and that is supposed to say, when it down there, why would the state is plus a percentage, I mean, when is that market discussed?
Well, probably discuss it.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Okay, so I'm just curious, if you get that letter. How many, back on vehicles on public safety, how many vehicles is that, was that the equipment included in that?
So it'd be 3 vehicles.
3 with the equipment?
That's in that.
Public safety, yeah.
45.
And then what type of turnaround? I think we try to rotate in the past, try to rotate vehicles out, so where's that? These are where's that really is first rotation again?
So we'll have a pretty good fleet of vehicles. I mean, we all agree back in 23, there was a consensus to get rid of the Dodge Durangos because it's raining, it's dry. This would get all of them off of the road. I'm not saying that would still have some as pool vehicles, but it would accomplish that task of getting those that had been in rain on the county off of the road. So, could they be good pool vehicles? Absolutely. But that would basically get that accomplished.
It's usually 3 to 5 years.
We tried that once before, and I know it was hitting this because lower the mile, that's the higher we got in trade pay. I remember when we were trying this, we were only getting $500 in trade. You know, and we were taking them up on county highway similar trailer to the auction, because that's how we had to move them up there without paying so. So I knew there was rotation back, but I didn't know.
Scrap. Well,
Yeah. gives you a second, right afterward, but it's all safe, just get back to it after all their policy. I didn't really get it. They were out of place, state police and policy.
I've never had any luck with dogs, so. I remember when they first started saying it's going to move up, I said, we're thinking, I don't know. Everyone I've ever had. All right, is there anything else there, Jay? I-111. Budgets, other stuff are pretty much quite important to us, stuff like that. You want my brother to? That's not. Thanks for that.
So we just have one question, if you want.
Sheriff's statewide 911, which there's a abundance that we have in any color, we've got to, you know, 280% balance. We have tried to put other things in it, but they just won't let you, so. Didn't really, other than health insurance, which you can't change. I guess you did, could have worked from the comment. That's
Yeah, it's supplies.
this year, you didn't have to pay the card.
Why is this statewide 911 not having employees in it?
Why is that?
Do what?
Why are there no employees listed in our state?
Which one? The one, the county general or the sheriff's state?
Sheriff, statewide,
It's in the 1235.
He said.
Except, yeah. It's in fund
So
1235.
I know, my question is, can it be in the statewide 911?
It's gotta be. It's not as big.
Right, this is that 111, it's a different 111. That one was there, 638,000.
Oh,
This was actually spending in balance, okay, I don't know, $100,000.
that's true,
Yeah.
So can we see if we can take the salary out of 911 that's coming out of ESAP?
Move it from the 1235 to the 1222.
Yeah. Well, this one does have negative cash flow, right? Yeah, negative cash.
Advertising budgets for
So we should.
Well,
About more
it's advertised for a lot of pound, never actually balance.
Although,
Category.
isn't the total amount we advertise, these can't exceed that, or is it per fund?
it's for better manipulation.
Sure. We can't do that.
Because all of my budget hearings, we put in the funds within that location with it either increase or decrease, but we have to keep it underneath what the advertise is.
We could always, we advertise. We could always, though, do an additional in the end of next year and then decrease this one. Next, like Gene, so we can do it without having to budget it in.
But obviously, for no reasons,
Even if we could only put, of course, that's paying for some of our person, we have to hold up to
No, so 460,000. Move all the dispatchers over there.
It's a very restricted fund on what
It is
what
very
spent on, and so
Yes.
we need to check with
Yes.
the state before we make any decision on that.
Remember when we tried to do some like rent? That we like red bull.
So is that something you should call labor utility?
So we can reach out
We
to
can reach out to the state 911 board.
typically contact them.
That's the dispatchers is 909.
I think that's good.
They can discount right, you balance it out. We need to leave it the ones the most to us.
One thing about the salaries we proposed, last year, how I said we needed more of a separation. And we said that we have the first line supervisors and one, and then, you know, did it flat last year. I told you I was gonna address that again this year because that is a priority of ours. You know, simply we're increasing the responsibility of people. And in the jail, for sure, most of our most qualified don't want the position because
It's not making enough difference.
so I want to make sure I bring that up again, that this is high on my importance this year.
It's a great differential.
Yeah, there was this witness that even amount.
Yeah, like, no, that's right.
So will you get not concerned about pushback when someone gets a 3 and someone else gets a 4%?
No, this is the budget I presented.
Okay.
They're the ones who will hear it.
Exactly, that's for sure.
Okay.
It certainly comes back on me.
And I have always held as a theory, that's what the elected official wants to do.
Well, I think it's a good idea, because like you said, I know I had brothers, and got a son, one worked feds, son works up.
We have to do like
And you're right, those guys ain't gonna take another position, even though it's a little bit of raise, it's a lot more responsibility. Matter of fact, I was looking at this, my wife came out, my office there. I said, you need to look at this, and that's the first thing she picked up, when she spots my parents. She said, when she gets separation, I agree, I agree.
Well, it is, I mean, yeah.
But I'm sorry, let me go back, years ago, my wife became the first deputy at the Drayton House back in 72, 73, 74 in there. She was the first deputy.
She's elementary school.
She's old. I got to look at these different salaries in the paper. And she was making the same as deputy sheriff's work for the county. And I went to 3 councilmen and said, you need to change it. She's not risking her life. They are. And finally, the administrator changed it. So I understand exactly what you're saying. I'll always do it.
What's amazing is Debbie doesn't look her age, she's been very good this year. How's that happen?
Jack's right. Like me.
video. Okay.
Okay,
Thanks.
is there anything else in the sheriff's?
You're gonna get back with us on that one.
Susan said yes, we can do that. We can move it from the 12:35 to the 12:23. Because it's waivers. She said that we can do that.
Okay.
Without doing the reduction additional community year, or we be all right now?
We can do it right now.
Okay,
Who's Susan
Baker Tilly.
Baker till?
We'll still want to keep.
I say, if it's okay, we'll go ahead and reach out to them just to make sure, you know, stay right out on one increase with that.
We'll still.
That's all they.
I'll still get a motion on for another 2 weeks.
We'll see you again. Good. Yeah, just let us know when you find out.
So along those same lines, can we go from 1170 to 1235?
No. There's 11:70, it's sheriff. 12:35, it's 911. Totally different.
Try. That's a big twist there.
I'm just trying to move some money, right? Didn't work. We will move all the dispatcher over there.
I think it is what we don't want to do is just flip the problem to the other side. Now, if we can just get positive cash flow, there's a way to bring it. Well, negative cash flow, it increases. We can just get positive, get back to a positive cash flow.
Yeah, we got to. Get this here, you have this here.
What happens if you start accumulating a whole bunch of money to fill in the state, eventually we're gonna start tweaking that down. So if you overdo taking money out there and you tweak it down, then you got dollars problem, trying to figure out where you're gonna put it back someplace else.
Well,
I'm just saying, you know, get it back in positive cash flow, and we can go left behind.
those two are both in positive cash flows. One, we're spending more out of the PSEP lit this year. We're spending it down 100,000, right? Which is fine, but the other one is grown by over $100,000 this year. And, you know, it's getting pretty big. Let's take half the dispatchers, 70.
Was projected to grow, and this was projected to be down. We get much more over 7,000 than we're gonna have a negative cash flow.
Still sitting on.
Yeah, I agree with that. My point is, we don't want to put one problem for another. If we just get this back close to even, I don't think we need to go beyond that, my point. Because you were still going to drop down some of this to get this to even, for 30,000.
Let's take the night shift supervisor and go. Shift supervisor.
You're still gonna let us know though about.
This you'll go check.
Night shift supervisor.
Obviously,
Just take 5 of the dispatchers. 6 and 1, do 5 over there.
Not that that can't be done. I mean, certainly we can say work on our end, but that doesn't
Hey,
pose a bit of an issue, okay?
It does.
Yes,
That's a problem that you need to, really on the record. So if you just say that the full positions, that'd be better.
they're taking divvy in it.
So that like a coordinator, like the saying, and then the assistant supervisor should have done it.
We'll make sure.
That's what it just go right around. That's where we need to be.
Paying out divvy in.
So we
I'm
got,
not putting anything in here until we get confirmation of it. Yeah. I mean, at least there's an option, right?
That's, but yeah, I don't remember using those two positions, opposed to split. Right.
so we'll talk about moving $49,920, $94,094 over to 1222.
Okay, so here's a question. So we switch that back and forth. So like last year they paid the aerial photography. This year it's going to be the assessment. Then it's going to be the auditor, right? Why can't we just put it in this one every year?
Like,
Why can't we just take it out of this one every year?
because it's split.
I know, but does it have to be done that way?
I don't think that fund will do all 3 years. We all know.
It's got a huge surplus. Oh boy.
Well, the assessor's office, and you get that increase in.
Well, they would get a reduction actually. Yeah, a reduction in our budget or increase.
Especially if it was coming out of county general, wouldn't it?
We deducted it from county general, put it in this.
But this is time on what? Education area?
Well, they do.
Oh,
They did last year.
this year.
I'm just thinking, if they did it 1 year, why can't they do it all the years?
That we didn't check on because that was a 3-year rotation, and it was just my year to have them, so.
I don't know, how do you ask that question without opening up a can of worms? That's what I'm thinking. We did it for 1 out of 3, why couldn't you do it 3 out? Because it is used for your purposes at times.
They take a area photos every year. Or is it-
Every other year?
Paying for it every year.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's a contract, so what they do is, they do it every year, it's every year right after it's before the spring, but they do it with all the leaves off the trees. And then they send them a report that's got outlines for any new properties or whatever. Yeah, they do it every year. It's a contract, so it wouldn't really matter, to be honest with you, it's 100, whatever thousand it is, that's what it costs. And it's a 3-year contract, and I think that's why we divvied it up. That's just a thought. We do it 1 year, or can't we do it 3 years? I don't want to ask the question and then go, well, why you take that out for in the first place? Then we created a bigger start.
Reduce the other 3 revenue.
And I just want to make sure everything, above board.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else have anything for here?
Funds.
It's funded by a fee from the state.
The assessment area,
Oh, no,
$30,000. Funds the assessor paying sales disclosure.
that's for paying a fee for the assessor.
Sales for everybody applies for property.
Okay.
It's sales disclosure. They collect a $30 fee and then it gets divvied up.
How much in that fund?
It gets divvied up, so I.
Depends on how many properties.
That's where the 30,000 is right now for the area.
Yeah, and the reason we can't do it every year out of that, because it raises zero if we did it every year. It takes a while for it to accumulate that much. We don't get that much income every year. It grows, and then we take it out, and it grows back, and take it out.
That's the way for us to get it.
Here, we have something else. We're done with you. Just what you want to hear. Thank you, guys. Thank you. You cry.
Hey, you're welcome.
Hey, I'll try to figure out what you've been telling this girl. I see a picture of her. Is she got an eye problem or?
I have to pay her.
Don't say that.
You said it.
Oh, she's mine.
There's that good. That's what. Just do this. It's a my bed, very big.
Was that gone?
That's why.
Okay.
That's one of the whole issue.
I don't want to see myself, so I don't do it.
Hey, where's this big live stream too? What website? That shouldn't affect YouTube.
But I mean, is it under a particular category, if you play county council?
YouTube, we also have it underneath.
And I mean, is it through a system, because YouTube, like our church has a
That's the starting
feed.
question. That's the starting setup. Each time we just.
So I can prove my wife actually.
Like,
You
how
can
many,
see you on there, you're behind somebody, so.
Okay, what budget are we ready for?
Auditor.
I will adopt it on.
She's so sweet.
What time is he supposed to be through? Hey, I gotta take a break, I'm sorry. I'm very Betsy and I gotta take a break. We got 7 minutes, it won't take me that long.
For watching the video. You're looking at. You can't see what you're looking at. You're just looking up in there. Yeah. Very fast.
He's 7 subscribers.
Well, we'll address salary. Like we have. Bad.
Oh, okay.
For budget.
Project.
Not too much of a change. I guess they increased the training because it's costing more to the hotel.
What about the clerk?
He was doing a lot of our skating that got, restarted during the cyber attack. And she's got our, buttons and now on the website. Got that all updated and now she's working on our others. We lost some years worth.
You only used $3,100, $3,200 so far this year.
She's had surgery the first part of the year, so she didn't start until like March.
Yeah.
But she's,
So a lot what we have put in there last year, but we ever terminated. This year.
she's been helping with a lot of stuff.
Professional services, I don't know exactly what that is, but last
A
year.
lot of paper dealing stuff.
Okay. No problem.
It's a mishap, I
Services industry, great place. So.
We had 2 desks fall apart and a chair fall apart. We need some furniture. Yes, that's more.
Computer maintenance went up that much.
It's more in line. I adjusted the three. I have the invoice from cloud. I might have to do some money around this year too. That works.
They had a problem with yeah. Why is office supplies going out here? Instead of using the city?
That is other supplies that Scotty doesn't do for us. We had some locks, that broke, and we needed additional keys, or new keys, or lock our file cabinets. We've got a couple of chairs broke.
That's in the furniture.
Yeah, and I put $100 more into the office supplies. Yes. Lock it back down to 1,500. Okay.
So like contract service, all those computer, as long as we know that those are going up that much, we have, that is what it is.
Is that because we're using more of their service? On computer maintenance. I mean, if you look, in 23 it was 63,000, 24 it was 67,000. So far in 25 we paid 74,000, budgeted 77. And now we're going to keep running that.
It's not really maintenance, is it?
No,
I think
and
that's
it also includes like the process of W-2s and 1099s and with across the street. There's been that increase of the employees, which they charge so many W-2s in that. And then and since I've got new help, I've had a need, they have come in more. even help us with the training in that.
So it's not really computer maintenance, it's what do you really call that?
More programming and updating our software, more of the software upgrade and all that.
That sounds like you're fixing it.
Yeah,
So professional services, that's Baker Tilly?
yeah. And contract services is Darren Winston is our fixed assets that the state mandated us to have a program for that. So,
I'm sitting here looking at the computer maintenance, and if you take 74/7 divided by 6, multiply that by 12, it's $150,000 we got. 77.5 a lot. If we continue to use that, we have the last 6 months.
My guess is that they had contracts that paid in the beginning of the year, and some that paid it. It's probably not.
that would be eight twice a year.
You said you're gonna be a little short this year, what is it truly, you think it truly is the 81.5?
I think it's closer to the 81.5. Or
You do
just,
fine.
or just barely underneath that.
This is per contract. Is there a written fee in that contract?
That's based upon contract. Most of those maintenance contracts have a lot of times they'll have wages and breakers or
And it was per contract, it says 8.5.
I assume that's how those contracts says it's going to be, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
That was location 1216.
That's the ineligible deductions, is what I had, the company go out and, for homesteads, I was getting double homesteads in there. I'm finally getting the income from that now, coming in. So last year I couldn't, and pretty much was drained, and now it's building back up.
So that's funded how?
From the people that had
They had double homestead.
double homesteads. We either moved away or moved to a different location, we forgot to inform us, and they was getting the exemption.
2 homes instead.
So we're using the actual office.
So now it's starting to build back up.
So
Coming in.
So that's not tax, that's not state, so that can't change.
Yeah, that's its own fund,
That's a fund.
Yeah.
Okay.
yes. But I can't use wages out of it.
So, as I understand, if I have a homestead exemption on 2 homes and we cancel funds, my taxes would go up. Those taxes go into this fund?
Not the taxes, but the taxes they collected for the 3 years or 2 years.
The ineligible amounts
Okay,
reimbursed.
I understand. They get reimbursed.
Yes. For the discount that they took.
But when you got contract services in there, who's that being paid to?
Well, that if committee paid some Baker Tilly out of that, there's down in the county general.
How much is in that fund down there?
Not on camera.
Take a look and see.
This person called spam people.
Oh, you know, everybody's got one.
Everybody's running with potential spam.
Spam.
Yeah, it's always got a whole bunch of spams now. Spam. Or what?
There's furniture and equipment in that fund too. Yeah, there's 2 spots there, yeah. Laura, how much furniture and equipment do you need?
My desk, that's all I do, my desk fall apart, the lock, I need to have Roger come up and, he had to take the front off because the lock kept locking on me. And he needed to, so he had to tear the front off, that's all I do.
Is it pretty old?
Yeah, it's an older one.
At the moment, I have 18,000.
So you're requesting to spend 7,000 of it?
Yes.
The contract services you said was Baker Tilly.
Yes.
So can we take your furniture or put it in all of it? So because you got another $500 a year, right? So just make that 2,000. Although that would be above, but that's okay, right?
Yes, because it's a 1260.
So we can put all 2,000 and take it out of the other.
Put it in 1260, 2,000. So Baker Tilly is going to be 46,000. I'm just asking.
What's that what we're doing?
Well, instead of the 42, I do 30K.
Okay. Great.
Okay.
We're gonna take that to 38,000.
So their bill is not 46, it's still 42.
So she's saying is
Total bill.
she's gonna move, instead of having the 42,001, take 4,000 on top of it. They're gonna put it in eligible deductions, which is a fund that's got excess.
So make that 8,000 instead of 4,000.
Yes.
Right. training and expenses of $4,200 in county general. Then $2,000 in official training. Is that separate? Should it be separate? Right.
Do what?
$4,200 in county general training expenses. And then in the auditor can be elected. There's another $2,000 in there. Is that
There- Yeah, there is certain, training that I can take out of the elected official that I can't take. Some of the auditor training can't take out of the other one, so.
Yeah, I get that. She only, they use 1,500 of it, 24, 637, so.
The AIC examination,
Oh, okay.
yeah. And that will take out the rest of that.
Where's that money coming from?
The elected official training,
Yeah.
it comes from the breakdown from the recording of deeds and, yeah, so I should only use so much out of that. That's it. Is it done?
You got, it's in the county council, because I am thinking about it. How I thought that must be. I don't know.